All right, we're live. Welcome to Startup with Ferris live stream here. Thank you so much for tuning in. What is new in the world of entrepreneurship? Well, we're talking about AI today and how to give you a competitive advantage. I know we all hear about AI every other day, everywhere, and we know that big companies are using AI in almost every business process, from legal to research to manufacturing to sales and marketing. And you see news about AI for medicine. Read something yesterday about AI in mineral discovery tech. So that's good for big companies. But what about the little guy? What about small, mid-sized businesses? That's what we want to talk about today. How I won't go into every aspect of AI and define what AI is and all the available tech. I want to give you some general areas of your business where you can implement AI, and I want to show you how we use AI in our companies, and also what I see other successful business owners are using, how they're using AI, and how they're adopting their mindset on adopting technology and making sure they have an edge over their competitors. Because I once heard this, and I think it's brilliant. I don't think AI is going to replace you, replace us. I think AI will replace us with the competitor who's using AI. So keep that in mind. So I think small businesses in this day and age, we have a unique opportunity to thrive in this area. In a way, you can leverage AI to maybe do more research, to automate some of your processes, to streamline things that take you a whole lot of time, and then uh, you look. I want you to look at where is where are you spending most of your time, especially on repetitive, mundane tasks. Where is most of your revenue coming from? Excuse me, my allergies are still still with me for now a few weeks. I want to also look at your complex processes. These are the areas of the business that are, I would say, ripe for technology adoption to help you generate more revenue more efficiently. Obviously, that will help your profitability, and then streamline and be more efficient in the way you run your business. And you don't have to be, when it comes to AI or any technology. Business owners have a lot of challenges. They're busy trying to keep clients happy, trying to get business in. There are a lot of things that they have to do: taxes, they have to manage accounting, um, legal things come up. So business owners and leaders and founders, they're very, very busy. So I understand it when there's some reluctance in adopting technology and learning new things. I totally get it. And I'm not expecting you, I don't want you to be, unless that's sort of your personality and it's in your DNA. I don't want you to be on the bleeding edge of technology, but I don't want you to be lagging behind, because tech can improve a lot of things. It could add a whole lot of efficiencies to what we do. It can improve our productivity. And with AI, there's things that it's just very good at. So let's dive in here. But before we do, just a few housekeeping items, as always. Whether you are watching or listening live or tuning in later, love to hear from you. Leave me a comment on whichever platform you're on: YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and let me know the struggles you're going through. Let me know if you are having some wins, some big wins, some small wins. I'd love to hear from you. And keep in mind that we have these live streams every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, where we cover a business topic and then we answer questions that come to us from our community. And before the end of this live stream, I have a few slides on our Black Belt Startup Program. It is a training and coaching program for people who want to start a business or those who started and they're struggling. And we have a promotion that I'll share at the end of the session. And the goal is really help you, show you the framework, the template, the processes to get started, and also to overcome the obstacles you're facing so that you can reach your goals of getting to 7 and 8 figures. All right. Let's see if we have any quick comments before we jump in. Let's jump in. So How can AI give small businesses a fighting chance? When I first heard about AI transforming small businesses, I was hesitant. And I'm in Silicon Valley. I have a technical background, but it sounded expensive, complicated. Big companies are the ones who will benefit from it. But later, as I started to dabble with it, uh, I felt that there's something in there for me when I'm doing my own research, when I'm doing my work, and I think there's some key advantages for small businesses. So today, it is AI is a key part of how I operate, myself and our team members, and we've automated tasks. Excuse me again. Sorry about my allergies. We've streamlined some processes in the area of marketing, and it's sort of think of it. I like to think of it as an assistant that can complement certain things that I do. So I do my own brainstorming. I'm trying to remember all the stories from my early days when I was starting my business and I was struggling. AI doesn't know this stuff. It's all here and in my memories. But then I'm looking for, like, what lessons do I learn from this story, or how can this be applicable to other things I'm doing, or I'm looking for maybe a checklist and I want to make sure it's thorough and comprehensive. So I start my own brainstorming. We brainstorm as a team, and then we look into AI to help us complement what we're doing. That's at a really, really high level how I use, for example, ChatGPT. But as a business owner, and when you're struggling to scale, when you're struggling, even if you're just starting your business today, there's just a lot of things you have to do. You have to write a business plan. You have to vet your business idea. You have to come up with a marketing plan, with a sales plan. You have to figure out a way to go out there and network. So AI can help you, even if you're just starting, even if you're thinking about starting. I think AI can help you. And then later, if you're already established and you have customers and you have employees and you are thinking of ways to grow the business, AI has a role for you as well. So I like to think of AI from a business perspective in sort of from three angles. One is boosting productivity, one in cutting operating costs. All that will translate into better margins, better profits. And then third, in terms of customer satisfaction. Improving customer satisfaction is always a good thing. So in the boosting productivity perspective, and there's a lot of research on this in each one of these bullets, and we'll have an article on this next week on the website. But basically, in terms of boosting productivity, I think it was Accenture, they showed that if you can increase productivity by up to 40%. In terms of cutting operating costs, there was a study by McKinsey, you can reduce operating costs by more than 20%. And then I think around improving customer satisfaction, I think Detroit, oh my God, Deloitte reported that nearly 80% of those who manage customer support centers are investing in AI. So whether it's boosting productivity, whether it's and we have, I think, the slides here, we can list the bullets on the slide here. Boosting productivity, cutting operating costs. This is the second point, the second bullet on the slide, or it's improving customer satisfaction. You should be able to use AI to help you improve in all these areas. And again, big companies, and I just mentioned Accenture, McKinsey, and Deloitte, they're all are showing, have done studies, and of course, it helps them as big consulting companies help. That's what they do. They go into businesses and help improve processes and put in strategies and implement those strategies. But think about it. If you are taking time, if you, as a business owner, you've hired someone to do a whole lot of data entry, and they're spending 30 hours a week on data entry for your business. I mean, if you can automate this, instead of taking 30 hours, it could take maybe 3 hours. Like, why wouldn't you do it? Right? So, yes, there are concerns about using AI, safety, privacy, even psychologically, emotionally. There are all these studies now on how AI could impact us, just like social media has done in a certain way. We'll talk about those maybe in a future session. But from a productivity perspective, think of, if you can optimize, if instead of paying someone for 30 hours to do something, you can do it in 3 hours, and then this person can work on more creative things, on things that will help you grow, on things that maybe will help you, more like a client-facing type activities to strengthen the bond between you and the client. So that's one area. In terms of cutting operating costs, I mean, you look at, excuse me, some of the technologies that are now embedded in like a CRM system, or maybe in, if you are using Meta ads or Google ads, AI is already embedded in these systems. And you can, for example, in the old days when we used to do Google ads and Facebook ads, you would write the title and you write the description of the ad, and then you would test this against another ad. Now, for example, in the Google system, the system itself, it uses AI to use all the combinations of the different titles and different descriptions to give you the better result. So enabling these features in the tech that you are using will help a lot in terms of reducing your cost. Same thing in a CRM system where you have, in whether it's Salesforce or HubSpot and others, they're now blending in data to help your salespeople or yourself as a, maybe as a business owner, if you're selling yourself still, help you do your job much more efficiently. For example, I read an article on HubSpot integrating with agent.ai, and there's different, agent.ai is a marketplace with different types of software, different agents for, with AI, to help you get more information about the company that you are pitching. If you understand the size of the company, the funding they have, maybe the demographics of their employees, you can better customize your pitch. Excuse me. Sorry about this. You can better customize that pitch to that company the more you know about it. So think of all these areas: improving, boosting your productivity, cutting operating costs, and then improving customer satisfaction. So we talked about boosting productivity. We talked about reducing your costs and improving your efficiencies. And in terms of customer satisfaction, business owners, especially if you're a bit established now and you have a number of clients and you have maybe a support system, like customer support system, leverage these AI tools within these systems. Or if you are looking for a customer support system, whether it's a phone system or like an email system, make sure there are AI-enabled features, AI features in those systems that you can potentially route the support tickets that come your way, so that if you have maybe, let's say, a home service and a residential service and a business, a commercial service, maybe you can have those, the AI tool can help sift through these requests and provide some automated answers. You can look at implementing some chat bots on your websites. You don't have to be a developer. A lot of these tools today are plug and play. You have to give it obviously some data. You have to set it up. You have to configure it. But look for ways. If you're about to invest in a customer service platform, make sure there are AI tools or capabilities in that, in your requirement, in your selection criteria for that software. So those are the three areas I want you to think about when it comes to technology adoption in general and AI specifically. Now, in terms of examples, like this is all this tech that we use, whether it's QuickBooks, it has some AI elements. Whether it's a CRM like Salesforce, HubSpot, they have AI elements. Whether it is, whatever system that you're using, these technologies, they're now all getting empowered. They're getting enhanced with AI capabilities. But I also want you to think of AI in how you use it day to day. So, for me, for example, I went to and I think it's a game changer for small businesses. Simple things, but you can save time. You can have a better outcome. So I go to networking events. I always advise entrepreneurs to go out and network and meet people and listen to their needs and understand their issues and meet potential leads, potential clients. You'll meet potential employees, potential partners, investors. Networking is a great thing. Only great things come out of networking. I always say this. So I went to a Chamber of Commerce event a few weeks ago, came back with a whole lot of business cards right here. And then we have a slide on this. And I call this a game changer kind of silly example, but it shows you how you can automate things. And I know there's some tech out there that can do this, but when I came back to the office and I had all these cards. Oh my God, I gotta enter this stuff into our CRM. We use a DIY sheet that we have. You can download from our website, uh, and it's gonna take me 45 minutes to do this. And then I need to pass it on to one of my colleagues, and then we start following up with these potential leads and set up calls and speaking with them, see how we can maybe refer people to them. They can refer people to us. So instead of spending 45 minutes to enter all this data, I just laid out these business cards on my desk, took a picture, uploaded to ChatGPT, and I said, "Hey, ChatGPT, give me an output of in a spreadsheet format in a CSV file with a first name, last name, email, phone number, company name, and I think address, and that's it. It took less than 5 minutes. Now, because some of these business cards have like a very, very small font size, excuse me, it's really hard to read. I had to go and do a quick QA on this, and I was in 5 minutes. I was done. It saved me over a half an hour. So if you go to a networking event every week, that's 2 hours saved at the end of the month. I know this is maybe a silly example, and I know there's some other, business card scanners that you can buy and put in there, and the information will be translated into spreadsheet. I know that, but the point is, look at what you do every day. What I want to get across is, look at everything you do today. Can I get it automated? Can I get it? Can I make it more efficient? Can I delegate this task to AI to help me with it? So that's one example, but there are many other examples. When I'm about to write something, maybe a follow up on a request from the client, or even internally to my team, uh, I typically, you can use Grammarly, of course. You can use other tools. One thing you can, again, free ChatGPT or Google Gemini. Again, I don't have any affiliation with any of these systems, so I'm just using ChatGPT and Gemini as just an example here. You can do proof check. You can do a proofread on what you wrote. If you're not a good writer, if you're a terrible writer, there's no excuse anymore to send a an email that's not well written, because that's just, you're just being lazy. I'm just being honest with you. So copy and paste this into ChatGPT. Give it some context on what you're trying to do. What's known as the prompt. Say, I'm a business owner in this field, reaching out to a lead in this, uh, excuse me, with this kind of background. Here's what I wrote. Make it a little bit better for me, right? There's just no reason why you should get an email out with typos or grammar issues, right? And you can give it the style, you can give it how formal, how informal you want to be. That's just one example. Again, you can use Grammarly, you can use other tools. I don't care. Just use this tech to help you present better, to help you convey your message better. Another thing we use, and it's super super productive. I get on these calls with either our team members, or I get on calls with founders. They ask me a lot of questions, and we use Google Workspace, the Google Suite, and there's a feature now where you can enable a transcript. You can also record the video, but when you just, let's say you don't want to store the video and record it, you click on activate the transcription there, and then at the end of the call, you get the full transcript, and it's pretty darn accurate. And then you get a summary and the action items. I mean, this is like, it used to take me another 15 minutes after each call. Okay, what did we talk about? Here's the summary. Here are my notes. Here are the action items. So look for ways to, again, streamline, optimize what you're doing. Time is the most important commodity here. It's hard. You don't have time here. I'm telling you, you got to spend 12, 13 hours every day as a new founder. If you are serious about growing to 7 and 8 figures, it takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment. So every opportunity where we can save time, I think you want to take advantage of that. Another way I use it is, obviously, if you want to create images, like within, again, the Google Suite, you can just prompt it for, you can give it a prompt to give you an image you can use in your slide to make your slide a bit more engaging. But sometimes brainstorming, we're looking to do a campaign for the fall, and we have maybe 3, 4 competing ideas from our team members, and we're not sure. So, and or maybe we come up with a list of things we want to do, or we have a list of processes we want to highlight in a specific way. So do your own brainstorming, do your own sort of your own thinking, like bring in authentic experiences. That is, I'm all for that. And then you can check with your AI tool of choice and say, here's what I thought of, here's the context. Did I miss something important, right? And get the output. And then don't take the output blindly, but take it and see what could add to your thought. Another thing, if you're in marketing, if you're in video production, let's say you produce videos about your company or your service, whether it's on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube, you can take a video. There's a lot of tools, inexpensive tools today, where you can take a long form video, let's say a 30-minute video, and then upload it or add the link to the tool, and then this tool will give you maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 shorts, all done automagically, and you pick what you need, and you might have to adjust the captions a little bit, but there are tools. If it used to take you 2 hours to cut these excuse me, these long videos into shorter ones, now you have the tool. And then there's just I think the opportunities are endless. If you have a process where you have to QA a certain set of reports, or you want to organize your data, or if you have some sort of deliverable, and you always want to double check that you've crossed all the T's, you've dotted all the I's, you can put all of this in an AI tool. Now, I'm not talking about, if you notice, I haven't said anything that requires coding or programming. This is all you prompt it, you type what you want, you give some more details, and then the tool responds to you. You can obviously do a whole lot more if you have a technical background. If you're a coder, you can use APIs, you can do a bunch of things. But I'm not talking about that. That's a different discussion. I'm not a subject matter expert on that. Although I used to program way back then, moved it, graduated from that. But as a business owner, as a non-technical business owner, or as a technical business owner who needs help on the sales and marketing and the business side of things, leverage AI to the max. And one last example here, excuse me, is last night. I was doing some research here. We're working on a piece about niching down, like how much should you niche down as a business owner. I always tell people, if you sell to everyone, you're selling to no one. So there's this idea, there's this concept, an important concept in marketing, about defining your target audience and how you can connect with this audience. And it can't be the entire globe. It has to be a segment, a subsegment of the population. So we were discussing internally, like, how far do you niche down? Do you start broad? Do you start as you niche down? And so I started to do some research on Google. I was asking ChatGPT. I was just remembering from my businesses and how we started and where we ended. And then I wanted to go to my Aikido practice. So I wasn't done with the research. So on the way there, I asked ChatGPT a question. I said, here's what I'm thinking about niching down. And I'm a business consultant, and I'm trying to provide a useful piece of information to founders who are starting a business, or maybe struggling, or maybe they're about to pivot. Like, what are some analogies to convey this message to these founders so they understand it? It could be a pretty complex concept, this whole thing about niching down. So for about 10, 15 minutes, it was a bit of a back and forth on, okay, use a funnel example, use a recipe example, use learning a language example. I mean, it was sort of entertaining for a little bit. And I'm thinking, okay, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Didn't get it right. But it gave me a lot of ideas. So when I'm speaking with the founder next week, I'll use some of these examples to convey a very complex, complex concept. So again, these are I'm just sort of, this is the tip of the iceberg of what you can do. Every business has different needs, but you as a business owner, you as a founder, you as a leader, you can't be behind on technology. Remember, this brings me back to the 20 years ago. at the dawn of the internet, I used to go around and knock on doors and speak with business owners to convince them to use online marketing and to have a website so they can attract customers. I don't sell AI services, so I'm this is more of a just I want business owners, I want entrepreneurs to succeed, and I think technology responsible adoption of technology is really important. And if you don't adopt technology, you just won't be as efficient. So keep that in mind. Again, a lot of use cases. If you are, would love to hear from you how you are using AI in your business, or how you're thinking of using it, and then what sort of challenges you're having as a business owner, and what sort of policies also you're putting together around in your company, so that you are using AI responsibly and your team members are all sort of on the same page on what to do and what not to do. These are all important things. Maybe we'll get to those in a future episode. All right. So, I mean, I got a lot of questions on how to use AI in a business. Examples of AI and how I use it, how people I speak with use it. So we're not kind of blended all these questions into what I covered already and what I'm about to cover. We have about probably another 10 minutes here before we wrap it up. But if you still have, again, I'd love to hear from you if you're using AI in a certain way, or maybe you're afraid of using AI, or you think AI is dangerous. I'd love to hear your perspective, especially as it relates to your business, especially as it relates to your day-to-day work. Now, what other, in terms of areas of businesses, the area of business and areas of operations you can use AI for, marketing and sales. I mentioned some examples, but some of these CRMs today, they will leverage, based on the history, based on the data that you have in the CRM, they can give you a sample email that you can follow up with the lead, and they can tell you which leads they're more likely to you should follow up uh, next, instead of just sort of randomly following up on leads. Some of these tools will actually tell you which leads to follow up now with a customized message. Again, don't use these things blindly. Make sure you read your review, you QA what AI has given you, but leverage these tools in sales. Also, in terms of marketing, you can do, like, again, brainstorming, as I mentioned earlier. Don't just go on Gemini and write this most amazing prompt and get a post and publish it. I think everyone else can do that. Can you add value? Can you maybe ask AI to give you an outline, and then you add your perspective, add your authentic experience, add your own story, add something that has to do with the human interaction. I think those things those things are very unique to you, and those things are, it's going to be hard for AI to produce on your behalf, because it's your own experience, it's your own emotions, your own feelings. You've had that firsthand experience. So use it for marketing, for research, for outlining. Just don't use it, please, please, please. Don't use it blindly to publish stuff and you put it on your website. That is not going to be helpful. Now, in terms of, we talked about customer service earlier. We talked about a little bit about operations and management. In terms of hiring, if you are about to have a series, uh, bring on board, if you're about to do a lot of hiring, or even just if you're about to hire one person, you have tools out there today that will help you sift through and sort these resumes and score these resumes based on your job description. So you can upload your job description in one place, and then you have those other resumes, and then the system will score which resume matches your job description. Again, I'm not saying you use this blindly, but you need a system to help you manage things. You need a system to help you manage things efficiently. So all these AI powered tools, in terms of operations, hiring, for example, will be helpful. Also in accounting, if you are using some archaic accounting system that doesn't have AI capabilities, talk to your accountant, talk to your bookkeeper, do your own investigation and find. I mean, there are tools now that will prompt you. I think QuickBooks has, I think it's called QuickBooks Assist, or, I think it's called QuickBooks Assist. Or, you can, you can, you can, you can um, AI assist or something like that. I forget the name of it now, where it actually prompts, okay, these invoices are overdue, and then it will give you a custom message that again you can review and send out to customers. All those things will help you in operations and money collection, of course, and also in the hiring process. And then the other area of the business, in terms of data analysis, in terms of, I mean, this is going to depend on the size of the business, but if you have, I mean, if you have data, AI is really good at managing, structuring, potentially cleaning some of that data so that then you can have, you can make more informed decisions about pricing, about historical performance, about even just sort of maybe predicting and forecasting. So any business, if your business happens to have a lot of data, AI is sort of set up for that. You know, manage large amounts of data, and then you can organize it. You can clean it. You can do all sort of things with from a data analysis perspective. So I want to end with a couple things here. One is that we all have fears and concerns when it comes to change in general, whatever it is. We're I guess species of habits, and we follow habits, and it's hard to change for most of us. So excuse me, in this era of fast, rapid changes in technology, you I don't want you to be left behind. It's just it will impact you personally, it will impact your business. So you want to overcome that fear of AI adoption, and that doesn't happen overnight, especially if you're risk averse, if you're not really tech savvy. uh, but you can do this gradually, and I think the best way is find maybe someone on your team who's more tech oriented, and who's maybe they like to dabble with things, and start with something simple. Maybe get a Calendly. Again, I don't have any affiliation with any of these tools I mentioned in this live stream or previous live streams, but pick a tool that helps you in one of the areas of your business, and if your business, whether again it's around boosting productivity, improving efficiency, or in the area of customer service and customer support. And maybe have them again, if you're tech averse, or if you're just not an early adopter, and just start gradually, start with maybe one area of the business, and see the impact, see the positive impact on this. It will, I think, inspire you to do more. It will allow your team to see the benefits of this new change that is being proposed. And then I think use it yourself. The two things you should do is use it yourself. Learn how to ask questions, learn how to prompt, find ways to incorporate AI your own daily routine. And then again, like I said, start small, start gradual, in a gradual way. Find a boring, repetitive process, especially it has to do with data, and see how you can apply AI to it. You might need to hire a consultant to help you, maybe with some basic coding, or maybe some whole lot of coding, I don't know. But initially, just use it in your daily routine, and don't use it blindly. I think those would be the my two my two pieces of advice is use it in your daily routine, but don't use it blindly. And you always, I think almost always, you have to, whatever AI, chat GPT, or whatever system you're using, whatever it gives you as an output, review it, make sure it also makes sense. So those are two quick tips. And before we wrap up here, I want to highlight one major principle or a rule, in terms of technology adoption in general, and also very applicable to AI. It's the 90-10 rule. And basically, I mean, you might hear the Pareto rule, 80-20, or 70-30. It really doesn't matter. The point is, for every dollar you spend on technology, I want you to budget, to plan, to spend $9 on people and processes to support this technology. whatever technology it is that you are planning on implementing in your business, whether it's, again, a CRM system, an accounting system, an ERP system, a marketing automation system, an email system, the amount of money you spend on tech should be about 10, again, 10-20%. And then to get the most out of technology, to get the most out of that technology, and to leverage that technology um, to the max, and to build processes and systems, you need people who will take that technology, understand it, configure it, make sure it's set up optimally for your business. And they have to be trained on it. They have to have the time to manage this tech, whether it's social media posting, whether it's invoicing, whether it's, again, CRM and sales, and sales and marketing, whatever tech, including AI. I wanted to keep this principle in mind. 90-10. Again, don't quote me on the exact percentage. It could be 85-15, 80-20, but the majority of the time and effort should be really put on people and processes, because you need smart people to help you grow, and you need processes to scale. Without processes, you cannot scale the business to 7 and 8 figures. And even if you're a solopreneur, you started a few months ago, and you're starting out to get some traction, from now start to have your checklist, your onboarding checklist, your proposal checklist, have some kind of pricing guideline. Although it's all here, but soon enough you'll have more customers. You'll have to hire a project manager. You'll have to hire a salesperson. You'll have to hire maybe some back office person. And the more of what you do, the more you have what you do documented and put in checklist, and sort of process, the better equipped you will be to grow and scale the business. All right, I think that is it for today. Again, we covered specific use cases, how we use AI, and how other founders I speak with use AI. There's so many other, again, use cases. We didn't get into the technical aspect of it. This is not the intent. I don't think I'll ever get into the technical aspect of it, although I understand it. But I want you to find there's some quick wins, so some low hanging fruit that you can really take and run with. And that's how I want you to think of AI and tech in general. And 2 years from now, there could be the next thing that we did not hear about. For example, 20 years ago, the internet, people were just very, very reluctant to use it initially. E-commerce, nobody wanted to put their credit card information online. Mobile, nobody thought they'd have to have mobile websites, right? There's always, every few years, and this rate of innovation is now even higher. So get used to not just jumping on every fad, and not jumping on the wagon of every fad or every new thing, but as you see opportunities to improve your business in terms of productivity, boosting your productivity, in terms of improving the efficiency of your processes, or improving customer satisfaction, any opportunity to use tech and AI in those areas should be considered, and should be, after that consideration, and maybe a trial period, should be implemented. And then implement those changes in a small way, in a gradual way, and lead by example, and you'll be on the way to improve your business and your bottom line. So that's it on AI for small business. If you have any questions that we did not answer today, email me directly if it's very sort of specific to your business, or feel free to leave us a comment. And before we wrap it up, let's just give you, as I mentioned before, we do have our YouTube channel at Startup with Feras. Feras spelled Feras. If, in case you're listening, would appreciate a like and a subscription to the channel, so this way you don't miss out on all the content that we produce. We produce content daily, and we have longer form content weekly. And also, I want to spend just 1 minute on the Black Belt Startup with Feras program. It is at blackbeltstartup.com. It's a complete curriculum on how to start and grow your businesses 7 and 8 figures. We're dropping 3 to 4 modules every week. And then we have business hours, and we help you set up a personalized roadmap to grow. So go to Black Belt Startup with Feras. There's a free course, no obligation whatsoever. And then if you like what you see, if you like that content, you can sign up for the paid membership, and it is month to month, no yearly commitment, and a 30-day money back guarantee. So that's it for today. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And don't hesitate to get back to us with questions, with comments. We'd love to hear back from you. See you next time.